You have his disabled placard in your window.
Oh, yeah.
Are you using Mr. Cox's placard?
No, I'm not using his placard. Why?
For nearly 2 decades, we've been covering this story, the abuse of parking placards for the disabled. This story is from 1991. It's a problem that seems to have no end. But tonight, one Bay Area city is aggressively cracking down. Oakland police officers are challenging drivers who use the placards to get free parking. It's an elaborate sting operation focused primarily on the downtown area. Robert Lyles shows us it won't stop until police see a dramatic decrease in the cases of abuse.
You're not using it for him, you're using it for yourself.
Oakland police are fighting a street war.
Wait a minute.
Against what's amounting to an army of drivers armed not with lethal force, but instead these blue disabled placards that are proving to be lethal to city coffers and frustrating to disabled drivers.
My thought was, there can't be this many crippled people in this earth.
Oakland police estimate the city is losing thousands of dollars each day by drivers who hang a disabled placard instead of feeding the $2 an hour meter. So for the past month and a half,
we put together a sting operation, and what we're looking for is people that are unlawfully using the placard.
And it's easy to do. DMV's only medical requirement for a disabled placard or plate is, quote, impaired mobility. But the diagnosis does not have to come from an MD. A nurse midwife will suffice. It's gotten so bad.
While we're doing these sting operations, citizens will come up to us and tell us that they heard or they saw somebody selling disabled placards.
Now officers say they're forced to cruise the streets of downtown Oakland, scoping out drivers who park, then hang a disabled placard.
It is considered misuse to display a placard unless the disabled owner is being transported.
Block after block, it wasn't hard for officers to find drivers parking with no disabled person in the car.
Did you know that you could not use the placard?
Yes, I did, but I was just dropping him off and I was just going to go back and get him.
Or worse, using someone else's disabled placard to get a prime parking space. Our cameras captured this alleged disabled imposter at 17th and Clay.
Can you tell us what your disability is?
Yeah, I have bad background.
How long have you had the placard?
Oh, I don't know.
But they're stopping you for an invalid placard.
I don't know why they're stopping me.
They're stopping you for an invalid placard.
No, they're not, man. No, they're not. It's for something
they're
else.
not.
No. Go ask the cop out there get done.
So the police are telling us a lie?
Yep. And you lying too.
But it's the imposter who's running away from both our cameras and the law.
Then it eventually came out that he had no license, that it was his mother's ID or placard, and he kept saying she's around the corner.
To better understand what police are calling the prolific use of disabled placards here in downtown Oakland, we decided to walk one city block. 12th Street between Broadway and Clay, where I counted 26 parked cars. And how many displayed a disabled placard? Every other car. That's 13. Half the cars parked here. Remember, that's just one block and just one side of the street. Meanwhile, those with disabilities?
Here, that's a knee replacement, and so I got a hard time getting around.
Are finding it hard to park curbside.
I'm here an hour early, so I could find a parking space.
But they've already been taken by those with able bodies who don't appear apologetic.
But what about the disabled placard?
What about it?
They're saying
it's a legit, let's say, disabled placard because I transport my father-in-law around in it.
But is your father-in-law with you?
Not at the moment.
But you're aware that he has to be with you?
Yeah, it was an error on my part. I can admit.
That same admission in court will cost this first-time offender a whopping $1,010. In Oakland, Robert Lyles, CBS 5.
All right, now, one of the more creative uses we've ever seen for a disabled parking placard. We recently found one attached to the back of this motorcycle in San Francisco. And, well, you can see the owner uses a lock to hook the placard onto the back of the bike, make sure nobody steals it. It does beg the question, how can a motorcycle rider qualify for a disabled placard? Well, we checked it out. There are no restrictions against using a placard on a motorcycle.
Right now.